What'd you find?
A worm. No, a worm. Yeah, a worm.
Yeah.
Bug. She'll be happy here.
Okay, let's harvest some tomatoes.
I'm recording.
Mm-hmm.
So we picked some tomatoes. This is how much I got. I'm collecting stuff for my lunch. Blueberries. Look at all the blueberries. Pop. Let's see how they taste. Where's a Dobby?
Do you see one?
No. There's one underneath.
Yeah?
There's one. There's one.
Okay, let's get it.
There's one underneath. There's one underneath. Redzy. That one smells redzy. That's redzy. That's a half.
Yummy? Is it yummy? Yeah.
Hey guys, we are back again out in the garden. It is Sunday, August 29th. I didn't film anything last weekend because there's really not much going on out here with the drought that we've had and the heat that we've had throughout this entire summer. I guess it finally caught up to the plants, and last week really no progress had happened at all out here. Again, we water as much as we can. But we're on a well, and our rain barrels were empty in the mid-July. So, it's impossible to give the garden a really good soaking. The best you can do is kind of the top inch of soil. And again, yeah, we do the best we can, but there really is no substitute for a good hard downpouring of water. So last week, nothing new had gone on, and then as this week started, the plants really started to die back and just have kind of given up. And so that, right now we've taken out a bunch of plants, we've harvested as much as we can, but we are really, things are starting to wind down, and a lot earlier than last year. It's been a tough growing year. So we'll take a quick look at the garden and see how everything's doing. Alright, so over in the cabbage bed, Savoy cabbages are still doing alright. Regular cabbage, with the heat, they all bolted, so we took out as much as we could and took out the rest. Cauliflower are in a pile over there. Plants grew well, never formed any cauliflower. A lot of the strawberry runners that we transplanted didn't survive. Quite a few did. Any empty spots, we will just transplant runners that are still growing from the original strawberry bed. The Roma tomatoes, again, we water regularly. That's about as big as they got, and a lot of the plants have just given up. So this bed was an absolute disaster this year around. Because of the drought, at least I think because of the drought, we're getting a lot of blossom end rot, which we never normally see in this bed. Cherry tomatoes faring a little bit better. But yeah, really disappointing year for tomatoes. We're going to be well below our quota, our production compared to last year. Yeah, the Romas were just a sheer and utter failure and utter disappointment. It's just, with a limited space, it's too bad to have an entire bed like this just not work out. But that's the way it goes sometimes. And the dill's still doing very well. Large dill plants. We've been harvesting lettuce as fast as we can eat it. Again, because of the heat, a lot of the plants go to seed, so not much you can do about it. You harvest what you can. Now the strawberry, oddly enough, when I started clipping off the runners, did a good cleanup of this bed, and the strawberry plants seem to have had a little bit of boost in growth. Most of these plants we presumed were dead because they didn't show any new growth in the spring. It's only now that some of them are starting to come back to life. It's like they just realized it's summertime at the end of August. So not exactly sure what's going on here, but we'll keep these plants going. Transplant some runners to fill up the other bed, and then either this fall or next year we'll be removing these plants because this will be their last year for berry production. They're about 3 years old. Blueberries are all harvested. Kind of a below average yield for this year. Main reason for that was the late frost that we had. These blueberry plants leaf out quite early in the springtime, and the frost just came and really took a toll on these plants early on in the season. So they've spent the majority of their energy in putting out new shoots. So plants still look healthy, hoping for a good harvest next year. And the squash bed, not looking great. The patty pans stopped producing 2 weeks ago. Last week got hit hard with powdery mildew, so we pulled them out. Squash plants, the spaghetti squash is already starting to die back. You can see powdery mildew, but the squash are ripening up. So once this plant dies back a little bit more, it will be time to take these all out of the bed. Mashed potato squash are looking a little bit better, but you can see if you look closely on some of the leaves, powdery mildew is starting. And yeah, I don't expect that plant will be around much longer. It'll probably start to die back this week. Zucchinis are producing a little bit, but again, dying back. And some of the lower leaves have the powdery mildew. Melons, again, just waiting for these to maybe put on a little bit more weight and ripen up. But yeah, the plants are definitely in shutdown mode. Pretty early this year too. It's it's been a tough year. And on the other side, the butternut squash seems to be faring a little bit better. Haven't noticed any powdery mildew on it yet. They are still a little bit smaller than normal. Some of them are starting to ripen up, but we'll see how long this plant can hold out for. We've been harvesting the beans, but those they look like they're shutting down. They won't be. I don't think we'll be getting another harvest out of them. So beans really below what they produced last year. We took out the pickling cucumbers. We had one good harvest of pickling cucumbers. We were hoping that the plants would give us another round of pickling cucumbers, but never happened. Again, just not enough water and too much heat for them to do anything more. And so they started getting, again, powdery mildew on the leaves, and so took them out. Slicing cucumbers again, never really got started this year. With heat, no water, we barely got any slicing cucumbers this year. It was a pretty disastrous year for them as well. Not sure what the exact numbers were, but I can wager a pretty good bet that we are going to be well below last year's totals on slicing cucumbers. No cherries, even though the plants are doing well, seem to be holding up fine in the drought. The cucamelons are doing extremely well. All things considering, this plant is probably doing and producing the best out of all of them. We have tons of little cucamelons that we've picked and that are probably still on this plant. So yeah, quite a surprise from that plant. Beets are now starting to put on some weight. They've probably doubled in size since the last time we looked at them 2 weeks ago. The roots are definitely starting to put on some weight. The leaves are suffering, but we'll see how it goes. And even though the kale and Swiss chard were attacked initially by the pests, they've really bounced back and are doing really well. Carrots are doing well, at least we think they are. The tops look like they're doing well. No idea what's going on below the soil, but we'll find that out soon enough. Onions were a complete disaster all around. The biggest onions we had were, we had a few that were the size of a baseball, but the vast majority of them were golf ball size. All the onions we planted in the new flower bed in the front all died back after they got to about the size of a golf ball, and same with them in this bed. Just didn't do well at all. had a good year for asparagus, and hopefully these plants are absorbing enough energy to give us a good harvest next year. And lastly, the peppers are doing all right this year. Again, they were slowed down by the frost that hit them just after we put them out. But if we look under, lots of peppers coming. Hopefully they can hold on long enough so that the cold weather doesn't get them. But we've got lots of jalapenos in there, lots of banana peppers. So yeah, looking forward to harvesting these and pickling them. Eggplants, really nice plants, large plants, way bigger than last year. Absolutely no fruit from them. They're just starting now, it looks like, but we'll leave them in. I highly doubt we are going to get any eggplants in time before the frost comes. And celery looking the same as it always looks. Nothing to they just kind of sit here and don't do anything. It's kind of it's a little bit frustrating. So again, that plant is still in question whether we're going to be doing it again next year. Alright, so that's it for this week. Now, like I said, last weekend, not much had changed out here, but it goes to show you that, you know, in 1 week, things can change quite dramatically out here. Yeah, when the plants decide it's time to call it a year, that's what they do. So, by the looks of things, I'll be starting to clean up this space and get everything ready for winter a lot earlier than previous years. Hopefully by next week I'll be able to give you guys a little bit of a summary in terms of how much produce we took out of the garden compared to last year, and let you know which plants worked and which plants didn't work so well. And unfortunately this year the list of plants that didn't work, it looks like it's going to be a lot longer than last year's list. Alright, I will see you guys later.
Hi everybody, it's Friday, August 20th. So we're gonna look at all the plants and see how they're doing. So let's get started.
So, these are the blueberries. They've done really well.
Let's taste one, Ellie.
Yeah,
let's taste
one. We have to look. I'll go at the back. It's a good idea.
Oh, I found one. Look at that.
Found one. So you want to show the camera?
Want to show the camera?
Mm-hmm.
What are these?
These are squash and
No, zucchini.
zucchini.
What zucchini?
Zucchini and patty pans. See those tiny ones? And over here are the melons. I want to show you. These are some melons over here.
Oh, come on. Oh my goodness, that one's almost ready.
Yeah, almost ready. And look at that one. Look at that itty bitty one.
Oh my goodness.
That's so small. Shall we find a really
Oh my goodness, look at that.
What one? Wow.
And what are these?
I don't know.
They're strawberries.
Strawberries.
The transplant didn't look well.
No. But the other strawberries did. Come on. Follow me. So on this corner. I'll pick some here.
This is the tomato patch. Bill, we have to cut some.
I know.
See?
I know.
The strawberries are doing really well. See?
Strawberries are going well. You put it in my bin. So I haven't.
Ellie.
The grasshopper.
No, Ellie, come on.
Oh.
And what are these, Ellie?
Those are grasshoppers.
No. What are these?
Kale.
And what are these?
Mm-hmm.
Shaw.
The star.
And more beets, asparagus, cucumber melons. So these are the, what are these, Mommy?
Butternut squash.
Butternut squash, beans. What are these?
Pickling cucumbers.
Pickling cucumbers, cucumber. Looks like they like to grow there. Peas not doing well. Some slicing cucumbers. And lots of pickling cucumbers. Cherry.